So I'm really having a rough time. Part of me just wants to shut down completely. If I could just wrap my mind around it, I just can't. It's like I can't comprehend this journey. And I know it's on a higher plane, and I know it's the spiritual rising, and I know that it is releasing all the layers, and I know that it's surrender, and I know all of these things, and non-attachment, and that this is an energetic connection, and that all this pain is ego, and that I can just change my perspective, just look at it a different way. I know all of this. And to just switch out of the pain, just shift. I know all of this. That I'm creating my reality through my emotions, that I'm getting back more of the same, that whatever I reflect out, that I need to find inner union and quit looking at the outside world. I know all of this. When I'm connected, I preach all of this. I preach all of this. I know all of this. I know it inside and out. And I've done the shifts before. I've done the shifts before. And I've held strong going through, going through like a detachment from people, from things, from, you know, I went through my divorce, which was really difficult for years and years and years. It doesn't even match up. I went through other separations. I went through detox from alcohol. I quit smoking. I quit smoking weed. I I know how to release things and hold in that place. But there's something in me here that just like, even if I tell myself in my mind to release, there's something that is like there you can't release. There is no release. It's like you can say you're releasing, but it's topical because at the core you're still connected. I'm just tired of this, and I feel like I'm being held hostage on this journey. And I know that's my ego talking. Because when I'm in, okay, let's go ahead and alchemize this because I really need some alchemizing right now. This journey is real. This journey is real. This is the gaining passage rights into the new world. This is the gaining passage rights. You have to go through yourself and you have to give up anything, everything. Everything that you're holding on to, you have to give up and release, and you have to be like with no anticipation, with no expectations. All of the pain is sitting in the expectations or the wants or the holding on to what kind of outcome I want from a situation. I know all of this. That's where all pain is anchored in wanting a different outcome. It's like holding on to something. I saw him yesterday, and he really gave me the message that I need to let go of any kind of romantic expectation or want or attraction. And I really broke down. Like, I just couldn't move from the pain. It was like, yeah, there's no hiding anything on this thing, on this journey. It doesn't matter. The other one knows. And I couldn't hide it anyway. It just like, the pain just like, he told me that he had been intimate. Whoa. Those were birds flying over me. Heard the swooshing, massive swooshing. I didn't even see them, I just heard them. I saw something out of the corner of my eye. And I feel like he's pushing me away because of my expectations. You know, if I didn't have expectations, I feel like he's pushing me away anyway. Like on the one hand, and then I want to finish telling the story. So I just froze. I couldn't. I broke down, and he stayed like for another couple hours after he was intending on leaving because of the state that I was in. I feel first of all, I'm glad that he's telling me. And the way that he tells me is like where it really like hits me all the way to the core because I feel it. He tells me, like, he doesn't tell me outright, he'll tell me through a story so that I'll understand exactly. So I feel like something in him, something in him tells him that he has to be upfront with me because this isn't the first time that he's told me things that he didn't have to tell me, but that he like felt. I almost feels like he feels some kind of obligation to let me know. I don't think I know that it comes from that place, a place of kind of like respect towards me, not to hide something from me. And like on one side, I feel like because we're going through I'm going through like these really intense emotions on this journey with him. So, because everything like this goes all the way deep. It's like goes through all the layers straight to your heart. Like there's nothing there to stop it. You're open to this person, and there's nothing there to stop the you can't put on layers and hide your emotions or mask your emotions even from yourself. You can't hide it from them either. It doesn't, they know. It's like it's all out on the counter. There's so many different freaking aspects to this whole thing. Like yesterday, one of the things that he was telling me is that it's like the mission is the most important. What we are meant to be doing here is the most important. And we were there for a few hours, and it was like magic. It was like magic. We were talking to people and like giving our gift to the world, and it was like magic. And that's what he was saying. He was saying, all the rest is just stories. He said, when you start feeling down, just remember it's all stories. Just get out of your head. It's all just stories. I'm just in so much pain. And I try to rationalize it. And then there's another part of me that says, oh, good. Here's another step. Here's another step. Here's another step. And you're rising. Like, this is a massive step. And part of me just wants to run. Part of me just wants to, like, shut him out of my life completely. Block him everywhere. And just, like, part of me just wants to go into a bubble and just hide. And I know that there's no progression in that. That's just hiding. There's no progression in that. And the end of that is I'll be afraid to go out of my cave because I might get hurt. And he told me to be thankful for what I do have, that I have a lot of blessings in my life, and he's right. But he really, really sent it home this week. This week in the subliminal messages that he sent, the energy that we pick up on, the messages that I need to let go. And I've been thinking, okay, I was going to tell about that. I was talking last week about a date that I was supposed to have, and it just kind of poodled out. We talked a little bit. We said, okay, so we'll set something up for Sunday or Monday. Sunday, Monday came and went, and neither of us contacted each other. So I guess that's how excited we both are about it. And I started thinking, like, when it really comes down to it, I'm just not interested. And yesterday, um, one of my ex-boyfriends wrote to me if I want to go with him to the hot springs this week, sometime over this weekend. And so I set up with him to come and pick me up between 2 and 2:30 today. And go. It feels, I mean, have somebody, he's going to come and pick me up and take me and bring me back home. I haven't had something like that in a long time. And it just feels like nice. We can catch up on old times. It's a weekend that my boys are home. So, I'll get home. I'll go home now and clean and cook a little bit and get everything ready for like a Friday night meal. And then I'll get home after dark sometime. I'm just like, I just like, there's still a little bit in me that is like in disbelief. If I could believe it, if I could grasp it completely, like if I could, because it's almost like he's telling me something and I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. That's almost what it feels like. Like it's not real because, like, on the energetic level, we're so connected that there is no, like, it's not real. And then on the 3D level, I was talking to somebody yesterday at the hot springs and he was just went through a divorce and he was telling me all about her and he had his finger out. And I said, anytime you have your finger out, you're blaming, you're giving away your power, you're not taking responsibility in the picture. And we were talking and talking and talking. And all of the things that I told him, because he said that his wife went out and went with somebody else. And I told him that I guess that is what she had to do along her path. That's something that she had to do. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It doesn't tell the world your worth. It's just something that on her path, for her, she needed the lesson, and you also got the lesson from it. It sends you into a place of such, of you have to overcome that, and in overcoming that, you overcome yourself. And so everything that I said to him applies to me as well. I know all this. The pain is so intense. Okay. I feel almost like, okay, so that's why I was telling that story, because I almost feel like I'm betrayed. I almost feel like he knows. He knows. And it's like he's denying or something, or like it almost feels like it's a game or something. I guess it can't be real. It can't be that it just feels like it can't be real. And then I think on the 3D level, wow, this seems like crazy talk, like obsessive talk. Like if I were to see this from the side a few years ago, but when you're in it, it is a mystical connection. This connection is at the energetic level. And then I say to myself, what if it's all just a big freaking story? What if it's all just a big freaking story? It is a big freaking story. Everything in our minds is a story. All we are is a there's so many different ways of looking at it. It's all stories. It's all stories and interpretations and expectations and emotions going haywire and letting your emotions go rampant. If I could just take my emotions and I guess that's part of the marrying your mind and your emotions together because they are both tools of the soul, right? So they have to be in synchronicity with each other. Um, your emotions have to also be accurate to your beliefs, to your core beliefs, and then you have to make sure that your core beliefs are in place. So you have to align everything up so that your emotions will be accurate. Because if you were born, let's say, and you were always put down, and you got a sense of insecurity in yourself, right? And that is your belief at your core that you're not as worthy as other people. So, anytime you're put into a situation where you have to stand up and speak your mind, your emotions are going to try to take you away from that place because at your core belief you are not worthy of it. So your emotions are misguided. Your emotions are offset from truth. So if you realize that you have every right and that you are a perfect being, then my daughter is calling. I want to answer her. Then you then then your emotions will be in the right place, and then they won't be offset like that. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. So thank you for watching.